If you shoot at a super fat man, can the fat on his body block the bullet? In fact, this is entirely possible because the fat layer is very soft, which can gradually slow down the bullet. For example, for a small caliber bullet, a fat layer about 30 cm thick is enough to stop the bullet from moving forward. However, if it is a larger caliber bullet, then at least a 60 cm fat layer can stop it before the bullet hits an important organ. If you shoot at a person in 100 clothes, what will happen? First, after wearing 100 layers of clothes about 90 centimeters thick, in theory, when the bullet penetrates these clothes, the energy will gradually be consumed. It may penetrate multiple layers, but when it reaches the last few layers, the hole is already endless, and the bullet will quietly stop. Of course, you can also go to the desert and shoot at the giant cactus, but this is quite dangerous because the cactus here is much bigger than the basketball court. If you shoot at the cactus may crack. If you still shoot stupidly, then it is very likely that the cactus will break. If you are unlucky, then the 2-ton cactus will hit you, and it may directly send you to heaven. If the bad guys shoot at you, can you save your life by hiding behind the cover? If you are facing an ordinary handgun, then the cover may only appear a little scratch, or leave a little scratch. Your life is temporarily safe. But if the other person takes out a large caliber gun, then the cover is not strong enough. The bullet can easily penetrate it, causing fatal damage to you. What if you hide behind the fuse? You may think it is a gun, but the bullet can go straight through it. In fact, most fuses are made of cast iron and solid iron. These materials are much harder than some steel. Even if you face a 9mm bullet, the cast iron on the outside may be damaged or wrinkled, but the willpower of the inner layer can absorb impact, effectively blocking or even popping the bullet. In addition, you may think it is quite safe to hide behind the door. Don't be naive, the plastic and thin metal of the door are not a barrier to the bullet. The bullet can easily penetrate it. You may be hurt by fatal damage. But if you jump into the water, as long as you are a little deeper, you may be able to avoid the bullet, because the density of the water is about 800 times that of the air. Once the bullet enters the water, it will be greatly blocked. It can only move about 2 meters at most, and then it will stop. In one battle, some smart soldiers will put the bullet of the bullet-free bullet back into the shell. This method makes the bullet head solid. At the same time, it can also put more gunpowder. In theory, it can penetrate the tank within close range and shoot the enemy inside. However, this bullet-free bullet is very unstable. It can cause gunfire or explosion. Therefore, it is a failed invention. In the second battle, there is also a failed invention, which is to put a curved barrel on the gun. In this way, soldiers can hide in corners and shoot the enemy, even from the inside of the tank. But in fact, this strange weapon is easy to break. Because of the powerful impact of the bullet, the barrel is often blown up directly. In addition, there is a more failed weapon, which is a sticky hand grenade. It is specifically used to blow up the tank. There is a sticky glue on the outside of it. When using it, soldiers need to remove the protective shell that is covered on the sticky surface first, then put it on the target. About 5 seconds later, the hand grenade will cause a huge explosion. However, this hand grenade has a major flaw. Once it meets the wet road or the dirty surface, it is difficult to stick, and the tank